Now turn to section 3 of your listening question booklet. Section 3. In this section you will hear two students presenting a tutorial on two Asian countries, Singapore and Malaysia. First, look at questions 21 to 30. Now listen to the two students and answer questions 21 to 30.
Nancy and Jenny are presenting the first of our profiles on Asia today. You looked at Singapore and Malaysia, didn't you?
Yes, and we found lots of similarities between the two countries.
Did you follow the outline that I gave you?
Yes, we did. First of all, the total land area of Singapore is 630 square kilometres, whilst Malaysia's was 329,758 square kilometres. Obviously, Malaysia is a much larger nation with a bigger population, almost 24 million. It is bigger than Australia's population, in fact. We have 19,700,000. Singapore has just over 3 million.
Did you look at their population mix?
The population of both Malaysia and Singapore are multiracial. They each have a mixture of Malays, Chinese, Indians, and other ethnic groups as well, who all live quite harmoniously together. The breakdown of the population is different, though. In Malaysia, the Malays, or Bumiputras as they're called, outnumber the Chinese and the Indians. They make up about 65% of the population. In Singapore, 3/4 of the population is Chinese, with only a few 100,000 Malays and Indians. English is widely used in Malaysia, as well as in Singapore.
Yes, they all study compulsory English at school, and adults use English a lot in their daily lives. For many years, Singaporeans have been sending their children abroad to study in English-speaking countries. And in recent years, Malaysians are also studying overseas and getting overseas work experience.
Australia has had a fairly stable relationship with Singapore over the years. Can you briefly talk about that?
Yes. Singapore and Australia have always maintained a friendly and warm relationship. As Jen said, many students come to Australia to study here, and often they stay here to work. Similarly, lots of Australians live and work in Singapore. Singapore was one of the first Asian countries to really take advantage of its geographical location and the technological advances that were made at the end of last century. It has a strong economy.
Singapore and Australia signed an expanded trade accord in February, which covers all sorts of subjects from education through to customs procedures at the airports. It's accepted that this accord will really strengthen ties between the two countries.
So trade between Singapore and Australia is continuing to grow. But we're not one of Singapore's top 3 trading partners. They're the US, Japan, and Malaysia.
Yes, and interestingly, but not surprisingly, I guess, Malaysia's top 3 trading partners are the US, Japan, and Singapore.
Yes, Singapore and Malaysia are neighbours, so you would expect that. What did you discover about the relationship between Malaysia and Australia?
Well, it hasn't been as stable as Singapore and Australia's friendship. Malaysians and Australians get along well on a personal level. There have been an increasing number of tourists travelling between the two countries, so it isn't just the students who are coming here. Historically, Australia and Malaysia, and for that matter Singapore as well, have a lot in common, with the British colonialists. Malaysia now doesn't want to blindly follow Western ideas, which is fair enough.
Yes. This is something that we'll talk about later in the semester. Australia's international relations in the region.
There do seem to be misunderstandings and disagreements between Malaysia and Australia, but diplomats say that these are exaggerated by the media.
Yes, we all know the power that the media has. Was there anything else?
Well, yes. What I found was that Singaporeans are generally regarded as well-educated, well-travelled, knowledgeable. They enjoy a quality of life that is envied in other countries, especially in other Asian countries. The Singaporean government is spending a lot of money on education and technology.
Is this going to continue? Did you look at the government's agenda for the future?
They're developing a knowledge-based economy. Unlike other Southeast Asian countries, Singapore hasn't been dependent on the production and export of commodities. They intend to be IT-driven, with a highly skilled economy.
I see. And how did this differ in Malaysia?
Well, the Malaysians are very enterprising people. They're well-educated and highly skilled too. Like the Singaporeans, they've got a strong work ethic. We both felt that of the two countries, Malaysians were much more Asian in their way of thinking, although they seem to mix Eastern and Western traditions easily. This could be one of the reasons that tourism is doing so well in Malaysia. The economy once relied almost solely on the export of raw materials, but that's changed a lot. All the experts say that Malaysia has a huge future.
You've obviously enjoyed your research. I'm sure you'll enjoy learning more about the region as we continue on with the other overviews.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.